All right, hi everybody. It's Michael. We're gonna make a simple stitched book today. Um, you'll need just a very simple set of tools. You'll need a stack of paper that's 8.5 by 11, whatever you want to use for your book. This is an old screen print that I cut up to use for the cover. This thing's called a bone folder. You don't necessarily need to use one of these. You can just fold stuff by hand. You'll need some thread and a needle. This is embroidery thread, which I like to use because it's a little sturdier than regular thread, and it's actually easier to work with. And then the needle itself too is like a little bit it's kind of burly, the needle. So there's those two things. And by the way, this is the instruction sheet that goes along with this tutorial, and I'll post the link to this in the YouTube channel. I'll also post this to Classroom. And that's really all you need. It's very, very simple. So, okay, so the first thing to do is to fold your pages. So I'm trying to find a good place for the, okay, put that there. So let's fold the cover first. This is a little bit of make ready, by the way, from, I think it's Van, one of my students. I found it in the trash. So, but I want to credit the artist, of course. So yeah, just use the bone folder like this. You can do this with your hands too. I just like the bone folder because it gives you a nice crisp edge right there. So there's the cover. Then I'm going to fold what's called a signature. So I've got stuff from my sketchbook that I just Xeroxed, regular old kind of copy paper, some other stuff. I'm going to fold all this stuff, but I'm going to fold it a little bit at a time. I'm not going to fold it all at once. If you fold a whole big stack of paper all at once with this thing, it doesn't really give you that nice crisp edge. So I'm folding all the paper. You want to make sure everything is square as possible, right? We're going for a little bit of exactness here. Just a little bit. Okay. So then you make your book. How do you want your book to be? What page goes first? What goes second? This will make a nice center spread, right? So let's make that the center spread. Put another page in there. Kind of vary up the pages. Wanted to kind of use this as a sketchbook. Want people to be able to draw in this. So let's put some variation. Maybe this goes here. Maybe this goes here. And then the first page is another one of these blue sheets. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Okay. Maybe you go first. I've set myself up with a large stack of paper. It might be kind of hard to sew, but let's maybe we take a couple sheets out here. Don't want too much paper in this signature. You want to be able to get the needle through the thing, right? Okay, so there's the stack of paper, and there's the cover, like that. It's all 8.5 by 11, so it folds together well. I'm not too concerned about the pages coming out the end. Big deal, right? If you want to, at the end after you sew it, you can cut all this off, so you've got a square edge. That's fine too, but I don't know if we're going to do that today. All right, so here is our stack. And I am gonna do something crazy with a clip here. I'm gonna use this clip, this binder clip, to kind of hold this stuff in place. You don't need to do this, but it can help. There's another one. So that you don't have to, you want to hold this stuff still, right? So that's pretty much, that's pretty good. It's like, right, that's pretty good. That's held in place. It's pretty square, right? So I want to hold this stuff in place. I don't want to have to worry too much about holding all the pages in a stack, solid stack, while I'm trying to sew at the same time. So, all right, I'm using my awl. You don't really need to use this thing. You can use the same pin that you're using to sew, but I happen to have this thing. And I'm just going to punch 3 holes. One kind of, I'm not measuring, one in the middle. Make sure that went all the way through. Yes, it did. One kind of, well, let's just like use this as a guide. One at the top-ish. There's a little bit of a gap here. That go all the way through. And you can always, you know, punch it again to make sure. Yep, went all the way through. And then one at the bottom. And, you know, if you're feeling very exact today, you can always get out a ruler and measure, you know, say an inch from the bottom and an inch from the top, but I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, so now I've got 3 holes punched. So, getting out my thread here. And the rule of thumb that I've always heard is you want to measure 3 times the length of your book. That's how much thread you need. That'll give you some extra, which is fine. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. I'll cut it there. Set that aside. Thread my needle. Oh my goodness. Good luck with this, works. There we go. Okay, so according to this diagram, we go down through the center hole. Right, this is the bottom. We go back up. We go up through the top hole, go all the way across to the bottom hole, down, and then up again through the center hole, and then tie it in the middle. So let's do that. It's kind of hard to see because I'm using this kind of black Xerox paper, but that's okay. So we're going down through the center, leave enough room, leave, you know, you want to leave some string here. We're going up through the top hole, and tighten it a little bit by doing this. Make sure it's nice and taut. We are going down through the bottom, right? I went all the way down, And then we're going to go, oop, almost lost my string. I'm going to go back in through the center hole and up. That's it. So you can see we've got quite a bit of string left over, but that's okay. It's better to have too much than too little. So then I'm just going to tie this. Tie it a couple times. And trim it. And that's all there is to it. There's your book. Nifty, huh? There's my book. All right, so now we have our book. What are you going to put in it? You can fill it with stuff from your notebook. You can fill it with stickers. You can fill it with writing. You can fill it with whatever you want. Let's look at some variations on this same book form. This one I made exactly the same way I just showed you. I just left the string be long. Same exact thing, which is just with color Xerox instead of black and white Xerox. This is a one-page zine, and I'll also put the instructions for this up. It's one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, folded with a cut in the middle. And the way it works is when you cut it and open and fold it, it makes a neat little book. So that's cool. This is an example of some pop-ups that you can do if you want to have a little sort of interactive element with your book. You can just make these simple pop-up shapes and have, little drawings popping out of your books. This is, how was this done? I think it's just, same simple stitch. I like the simple stitch because the book lays flat. So same simple stitch. I'm just filling this with painting and drawing. This is very old, and collage. Same thing. This is called the Ed's Flexagon. This is a fun book form because it opens and opens and opens and opens. So it has this neat effect where it's sort of you get these random interactions of image. Pretty fun. This is a somewhat fancier side stitch version of the same thing, of the thing I just did. I'll make another video perhaps with these instructions. Same thing. This is a bunch of stuff with some handmade paper. You can see there's some variation in there. The whole thing is bound together with this. It's one stitch. Handmade paper, Xerox, bunch of stuff. This one has a little accordion fold sewed into it, so you can make all kinds of variations on this form. There's nothing saying you just need to stick to an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You can have an accordion fold book sewn into the middle of your book or into the edge. This is just to show you that the variations on this are really endless. Oh, okay, so this is the same thing I just showed you, except I put my book together like this, and then I just ran it through the sewing machine. Can you see that? There's the edge. And then in the end, I just put a little sticker pack, some weird little cards and stickers in the end. This is an accordion book. So it's several pieces of long paper that I cut and folded and then stitched and then just taped together or glued together. So this, if you want a long book, this is a way to go, an accordion fold book.